Turn now to one community in Ohio, which is now the center of a growing national debate about civil rights, hate speech, and the Second Amendment. NBC News correspondent and NBC News Now daily anchor Morgan Radford visited the town of Lincoln Heights, where residents have formed an armed community defense group in the wake of a neo-Nazi rally. Morgan joins us now. You were there just on Tuesday. What did the residents tell you about what's going on?
Yeah, I was there just this week. John, it was fascinating because what's interesting is that this town was founded during the Great Migration back in the 20s as a refuge for black citizens, which is why it was especially painful when neo-Nazis suddenly appeared in this 3,000-person majority black town. But they decided to fight back, taking up arms and patrolling their own streets. Now they're at the center of a much larger debate about protection and free speech and who gets it.
These aren't police officers or soldiers.
We're business owners, we're fathers, we're sons, daughters.
These are civilians, members of the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch program.
It's a duty. Okay, let's go.
The duty, protecting their neighborhood, the majority black village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio. After neo-Nazis held a rally here last month, carrying rifles, waving swastikas, and hurling racial slurs, just moments before children were let out of school. At the time, law enforcement officials said the neo-Nazis did not break any laws, but an investigation by county prosecutors is ongoing. Weeks later, the KKK came with these flyers.
First African-American community above the Mason-Dixon line established.
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durance Daniels says the children were let out of school. At the time, law enforcement officials said the neo-Nazis did not break any laws, but an investigation by county prosecutors is ongoing. Weeks later, the KKK came. These flyers.
First African-American community above the Mason-Dixon line established.
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durance Daniels says the police did not do enough, which was more chilling because the town was founded in the 1920s as a safe haven for black residents.
Lincoln Heights is our home. If somebody broke into your home, you call the police, and the police says, you know, if they do it again, we haven't broken any laws, so we're just going to allow them to break into your home again. What would you do?
Are you worried at all that having a potentially armed response could just create more friction, create more danger?
I'll answer that by saying I've never felt safer as a black man in my community than I have right now.
The mayor of Evendale, which oversees the police force that responded that day, said in a statement to NBC News, "Our emphasis on de-escalation and public safety resulted in the incident's resolution without injuries to any of the persons involved." But residents here say they can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch Group escorts children to school and patrols the streets.
Why do you all wear masks?
Those Nazis, we have reports of them finding our backgrounds, so we're not hiding ourselves from the residents, but we're protecting our family from what we're doing out here.
While many locals do support the security group, some, like business owner Eric Ruffin, say they wish the group wasn't needed.
We don't want to become what we hate. You know, we don't want to become a group of people that walk around feeling like we have a reason in America to have to protect ourselves.
And this community
Stand up.
Stand up.
is not backing down.
We contacted the mayor of Evendale's office, and they say that prosecutors are looking at body camera footage of the neo-Nazi rally to see if any criminal charges could be filed. But meantime, the Hamilton County Sheriff is also calling on state lawmakers to pass legislation making it a crime to wear a mask with the purpose of intimidation while open carrying, guys.
So, Morgan, let me ask you, one of the
intimidation with open carry, wearing a mask. Does anybody else see the hypocrisy with this country? Let's hear that again.
Is not backing down.
We contacted the mayor of Evendale's office, and they say that prosecutors are looking at body camera footage of the neo-Nazi rally to see if any criminal charges could be filed. But meantime, the Hamilton County Sheriff is also calling on state lawmakers to pass legislation making it a crime to wear a mask with the purpose of intimidation while open carrying, guys.
So, Morgan, let me ask you, one of the people you interviewed.
And that's the problem. They don't want the Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, to stand up for themselves. You know, they want you to just sit in the house, eat chicken, and be happy. You know, while these crackers get to go out there, you know, rally, protest, yell racial slurs, carry weapons, you know, hand out flyers with threatening messages on it, you know. And BS like this is going to lead to race wars. And it's not going to be black versus white people, because there's no such thing as a black person and there's no such thing as a white person. Okay, it's going to be 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, versus Esau, the Edomites, which are you self-proclaimed white people.
Their young man said he's never felt safer in his community than he does now. So this could have an impact nationwide, things like this. I mean, there is a contagion factor in safety. People always seek it. What did the mayor or anybody that you spoke to think about the contagion factor?
Durance, I don't want to speak for him, but after my conversation with him, I feel like I could confidently say he would say the contagion factor has already happened. Because when I asked, is this a reaction to a local moment or a national movement? And he said, look at January 6th. He said, you already have people felt emboldened to come here locally because of what they saw nationally. If you can hang from the building of the hallowed halls of the Capitol and then be pardoned, not be prosecuted, why don't you think you can come to a small village of African Americans, only 3,000 people?
Morgan, does the group have any real...
All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha, Quadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I wanted to do a response video to a video that you saw in the news right there. Okay, you got a community in Ohio who's taking up arms, and basically they are guarding their community. Now, of course, you know, the government is going to demonize this movement and say that, you know, this is a intimidation, wearing a mask with open carry. Meanwhile, some years back, there were Edomites who were rallying. I forgot what state or city it was, but they were rallying out there protesting, and and some of them were carrying hunting rifles. Some of them were carrying assault rifles. And not once was there a cry out about that. You you got neo-Nazis who just, and she said the KKK, which is really, it's the KKK, okay, which is the acronym for the Ku Klux Klan, who basically was going throughout, Israelite communities and basically saying, leave now, deployment, something. I couldn't read the flyer completely, but, and, they had Abraham Lincoln's face on it, or, a picture of Abraham Lincoln on it. And there was no outcry about that, you know. So, you know, this kingdom is full of hypocrisy. You know, these Edomites do things that they get away with on a daily basis, that if an Israelite was caught doing it, he would be punished for with a capital punishment. You know, this is a unfair and an unjust society. And one thing you Israelites need and better understand is that, as it is written in Baruch 3 verse 8, we are yet this day in our captivity. And when you're in captivity under your oppressor is the one who write the rules, make the rules, pass the laws. They make their own laws. And basically, you got to abide by them. Okay? You got to abide by those laws. And that if you don't abide by those laws, that, you know, there could be repercussions for it. Meanwhile, they could break their own rules, they could break their own laws and not get in trouble for it. Okay? And what makes it worse is that we're not just in captivity, we're in captivity under the Edomites, which are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Okay? The biggest hypocrites on the planet, which will be the Edomites. Job chapter 15 verse 34, for the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. So the congregation of hypocrites, you know, it's not just talking about a particular organization, because there's many organizations out there that are full of hypocrisy, such as, you know, you got IUIC, you have ISUPK, you have GOCC, you have FOPI, you have HOI, the House of Israel, you have HOJ, the House of Jacob, you have HODC, the House of David Church, you know, you have Sakari, you know, you have you know, and then you have your Christian, your pastor, your Methodist, your Catholic, your Sunday, and your Saturday Christian churches. You have your city halls. Okay? They're all full of hypocrisy. But the congregation of hypocrites can also be talking about a country as well, which in this case would be the United States of America, which is known as Babylon the Great in many different scriptures throughout the Old as well as the New Testament, and is also known as spiritual Egypt in Revelation 11 verse 8. So the Bible itself prophesies of race wars. You know, you got people who talk about race wars in the news, and you guys are a hate group and you just want to see them. Well, yeah, we want to see justice being executed upon the Edomites for what they did to us from the time of the Greeks coming into rulership all the way up until now, man. These devils never paid for their crimes. You know what Antiochus did to that woman in the book of I believe it's Second Maccabees. What he did to that woman in the book of Second Maccabees and her sons. Okay, you know, all the atrocities of Antiochus when he had rule over us, to the atrocities that happened to us during the Roman Empire, even up until now, man. These Edomites never paid for what they did. So, you know, and these race wars, yeah, you devils are going to start off winning in the beginning, but then the Lord is going to put that lion like spirit back in our people, which starts with the head tribe, which is the tribe of Judah. Okay? You know, in which we know that so-called Negroes, or what the world ignorantly calls African Americans, come from the tribe of Judah. Okay? Now, in Genesis chapter 49, I'm going to just get that real quick, and then I'll read 2nd Esdras 15, verse 14 down to 15. In the book of Genesis, right, it entails of biblical prophecy of Judah, who will be as a crouching lion, okay? But will be roused up in these last days for what? For the race wars, okay? Because these race wars will not only serve a purpose of executing judgment upon the 2/3 of our people, but executing judgment upon the Edomites, which will only be the tip of the iceberg for the punishment that shall come upon the Edomites, which the Edomites will be the self-proclaimed white man for all their atrocities which they have done to our nation. So when we read Genesis 49 verse 9, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, okay? He crouched as a lion. And as an old lion is not a creature that wants to go out and hunt. You know, an old lion is a creature who wants to lay around, pop his lioness, you know, have cubs, and generally just lay around all day. And if you notice, the only time an old lion really gets up and attack is when a creature is trespassing into his territory. That's the only time an old lion actually gets up to attack. You know, but a lion, when he is young and in his prime, he wants to be out there in the field, you know, showing his prowessness, hunting, you know, putting dread and fear into creatures, you know. He's full of energy, you know, he's fast, he's strong, you know. So right now, starting with the head tribe, which would be Judah, which in this case would be talking about the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They are as a crouching lion, an old lion, okay? The Lord haven't put that young lion spirit into them, okay? Now, what I would like to do is look up that word rouse, because it said, who shall rouse him up, right? I don't know if that word there is iwar, but let me see. Rouse. Quam. So that word there is quam, right? Like, you know, like some brothers at the camp would say, Quam Yasharala. You know, let me see. Right here, so rouse, right? It says to rise, arise, stand, rise up, stand up. You know, like Ludacris said in that one song, dun 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 dun, stand up, dun 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 dun, stand up, dun 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 dun, stand up. Okay, stand up. No qualms, stand up. You know, Jake is gonna start standing up for himself, man. You know, and we see that, right? We see Jake standing up for himself. Okay? Jake ain't taking bullshit from Esau anymore, man. You know? It says to arise, hostile sense, right? And soon the Lord's going to put that hostile spirit back in our people to say, fuck these Edomites. Okay? Arise, become powerful, to arise, you know. A lion when he's young is powerful. Come to the scene to stand. Okay? Is that not prophecy being fulfilled? Okay? Coming to the scene to stand. Let's go back. It says to maintain oneself, to be established. Okay? To be established. Okay? They look like they have a established group going, you know. I mean, which I don't approve of, you know, wearing all black. But you know, they're well equipped. They got on the bulletproof vest. They got the sticks on them, the burner. Okay. They got their faces covered because, you know, they don't want their family to see what they're doing out here. What they're doing out there. I mean, not here. I live in Niagara Falls, New York. But you know, out there in Ohio, okay? So to be established, you know, they have their group established out there, you know. You know, they're organized. It says, be confirmed, to stand, endure, to be fixed, to be valid, to be proven, to be fulfilled, to persist, to be set, be fixed, to fulfill, to confirm, ratify, establish, impose, to raise up oneself, rise up, to cause to rise, raise, to raise, set up, erect, build, to raise up, bring on the scene, to raise up, rouse, stir up, investigate, to raise up, constitute, to cause to stand, set, station, establish, to make, okay, to make binding, to carry out, give effect to be raised up. Then if we go to the Strong's Lexicon, let me see, show Strong's. No, there's no need to show Strong's. Okay, with that. Okay, if we go to the Brown Driver Briggs Lexicon. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Let's check out the Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. Let me see. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so who shall rouse them up, right? Who's going to cause them to stand? The answer is the Lord is. So getting back on this, right? 2nd Esdras 15 verse 14. Woe to the world of them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. Now the one people here is talking about the nation of Israel, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. This is the one people that's going to stand up and fight against another. Who's the another here? The another is going to be the Edomites, the nation of Edom, which are you self-proclaimed white people. Okay? So the Israelites, 2/3 of them, as it is prophesied in Zechariah 13 verse 8, right? 2 parts shall be cut off and die. Okay? But the Lord is going to put a fierce lion-like spirit on our people to fuck these Edomites up. Okay? Just you watch. Because the Lord is already bringing Judah and Ephraim back together. Talking about the 2/3 of them. Because Judah and Ephraim is already coming together in the spirit that are of the elect. But now as touching the 2/3, the Lord is bringing Judah and Ephraim together, man. Judah, which in this case will be the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and Ephraim, which will be the northern kingdom. The Lord is bringing them together. So yeah, it's going to be 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which are the one people who shall stand up and fight against the Edomites, which are you self-proclaimed white people. You are the biblical Edomites, and swords in their hands. So these race wars are going to be fought with swords, in which the modern day sword will be the gun. Now let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against a nation. Now, these are in red letter, meaning that these are the words of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, speaking. He said, nation shall rise against nation, right? And we're seeing it, right? Nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. So we're seeing nation. In this case, the nation, it's going to be the nation of Israel. 2/3 of us, well, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, not us. Because, I mean, I hope to be of the elect. Okay. But 2/3 of the nation of Israel shall rise against the nation of Edom. The Edomites, which will be the self-proclaimed white man. Those are your Edomites today. Okay. The nation of Edom will be the Edomites today. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom is on to the next one.